Hello, my darlings. Risa here with you live on Friday for Real Talk about Relationships. And today, I want to give you some really powerful tools to help with communication. This is probably the number one thing that both men and women actually say that they would like to be able to do better. So, this is for you today. Whether you're still trying to figure out if you can make your relationship work or you are already feeling like you are working your way out of it, you still need to have good communication skills. So say hello if you are here. If you're on the recording, please type in any questions, comments, things to share as we go along. So this is going to be quick today, but I'm going to give you some just quick, powerful techniques for communication. But I want to preface that by saying that I'm going to give you some words that you can use today. It's like a little framework for constructive communication. But it's not so much about the words that you say. It's more the energy that you bring to the conversation. And so there's a lot of good reasons why, especially, men and women have a really hard time communicating with each other. And I've done a whole training. We could talk a long time about communication and how we can do that better. But for today, just know that, first of all, you don't have to go to every fight you're invited to, right? We don't want to try and have a constructive conversation when the energy is already we're already in reaction and we're already really riled up. That's not to say that you should accept unacceptable behavior. You absolutely should not. But what you can do if you're in a situation and you feel like the conversation's getting heated or not going anywhere, what I would invite you to do is just pause, and you can excuse yourself just politely. You could say something like, you know what, I feel like this is just not going in a good direction. I'm gonna take a minute and I'm gonna excuse myself, and we can come back around to it when I'm more calm, or something like that. Or you don't have to talk to people if they are shouting and screaming. You could say, you know what, I'm happy to talk to you about it, but I don't want to be yelled at, or however you want to say it, but I'm not willing to speak to you unless you're willing to talk to me in a calm manner, right? So I'm going to excuse myself, and let's come back to it when you're more calm, so it can work both ways, right? So that's first of all, it's like, what's our intention for coming into the conversation? We want it to be constructive, right? Hopefully. I mean, otherwise what's the point? And so the number one tool that you can use to have your conversations be more constructive once you're both kind of hopefully in a calm place, is for you to use what's called I statements. All right? I statements. And so, because when we use statements like, you did this or you should do that, then it automatically puts people on the defensive. And so that's part of the problem. It's like we have these sort of patterns of communication that we use, and patterns of relating. And so that's, again, like the underlying stuff that's going on that we sort of need to interrupt these negative patterns. But this is a good way for you to start. And so how do we use I statements? So this is a little framework that you can use for communication. So it's when you did this, and you pick one specific thing. You say, if you're coming back around to it, like something that already happened that's bothering you, you can come back to it and say, you know what, when you said this one specific thing, or you did this one specific thing, neutral energy. So you don't want to come at it with a lot of, anger and wrath that's going to put them on the defensive. Just, when you did this, when you said this, just a simple fact, I felt, and fill in the blank. When you did this, I felt this way. I felt sad, I felt hurt, I felt angry, and I would like it if you could do it this way instead, and you fill in the blank. I would like it if, when we talk, we could keep our voices at a certain volume. Can you do that? and you see what he says. Maybe he needs to think about it for a while. Maybe he's like, I don't know if I can do that. It's like, okay, well, think about it and we can come back around to it. So does that sound good? I'm just going to repeat that. So this is your little framework for communication. When you did this or said this, neutral energy, as neutral as possible, I felt this way. I would like it if you would do it this way instead. Can you do that? Fairly simple, right? But I'm amazed at we're just not really, most of us are not taught this stuff. I learned this from, I went to some communication trainings actually when I was married to try and improve our communication. And it definitely helps. Like even just this one thing, if you can just remember to use I statements, like, just sharing, I feel this way, and, sharing how you feel and what you want. And it can actually create a lot better connection and communication. So I statements, very powerful. Yeah, so remember to use your I statements. When you did this or said this, I felt this way. I would like it if you could do it this way instead. Can you do that? Pretty simple, right? So give it a try. Type in, let me know how it goes. And again, I know it's not, it's not simple because we have all our feelings, all our history, all our patterns that we have been relating, our relationship dynamics that we bring to the conversation. But the more neutral you can be, the more constructive the conversation will be. And if you need to wait and walk away and take some time to process your feelings so you're not coming at it already triggered, you want to come from as calm, as centered, as loving place as you can. And I think that's really our goal, right, is to have it be constructive and come from the most loving place that we can with it. And so we want to avoid, if we can, having our partner get their defenses up, because that's usually what happens. As soon as we start, we need to talk, then their defenses already go up. So that might not be a good way to even start off the conversation. The 4 dreaded words, we need to talk. Yeah, that's 4 words. So maybe it's just there's something important that I want to share with you. Is now a good time to talk? Or maybe you need to make sure he's not already focused on something and doing something. That's another thing, is that we got to pick our time. We got to pick a good time when they're going to be receptive and they're not already focused on doing something else. So I know there's a lot more I could share with you about communication, but just for today, hopefully that is helpful. Please give this a thumbs up if it was helpful for you today. That gives me some feedback as to how I can best support you. But I know I hear so many people just want help with communication, and this is a fairly simple tool, but it can be really powerful. Just remember to keep it I statements. Yeah, and because we're taking responsibility. We're taking responsibility for how we feel and how we're showing up and how we want to choose to respond in any given situation and not just react to it, right? I don't have to go to every fight I'm invited to. I can walk away. I can, I don't have to accept unacceptable behavior, for sure. And I want to feel like I'm in charge of how I'm handling this situation. So I hope this was helpful for you today. Please type in any questions, comments, things to share, and let me know if I can be of other support. All right, my darlings, have a wonderful weekend. Mwah. Sending you lots of love. Bye for now.